Today we're looking back at Scourge, perhaps the best and ugliest parts of this set. A lot of key iconic cards, also a lot of dangerous ones, since this is the set that invented Storm. Very dangerous set. We don't remember Scourge as the Storm set, but we remember Storm as one of the most dangerous mechanics in the game. But this is not a Stormy card, although it sort of is. Wirewood Symbiote, suggested by John. It is, this one enables Elf Storm. It's a green 1/1 insect. Return an elf you control to its owner's hand to untap target creature. Play this ability only once each turn. You know what? I never thought about that, John, but that actually is probably why they designed this card the way they did. Because the usual ways that elf decks play with this card is it's a way of resetting creatures, replaying creatures for, basically you get to return, replay, but that was like probably enabling the Storm deck. In this case, this Wirewood Symbiote was a way of returning an elf back to your hand so you can untap something that produced mana to help add more mana for your elf deck. And this plus Heritage Druid was a bomb. Yeah, technically it's not an elf itself, which is a bit awkward because when you play something like Plague Engineer, it's actually not going to hit this card. So if you play cards that are like destroy the elves, well, this is not an elf, so it actually doesn't affect this damn card. Wait, no, I Chaos Warped in response to an instant speed board wipe. That's not a bad idea. Not errata as Symbiote. Actually not. That's a really good point. Well, I don't know if it's that good of a point. Yeah, not like a symbiote like not a Spider-Man symbiote. Good morning, Majra. Welcome. All right, so what else do we got here? Tressar with Stifle. We have not seen a technical Storm card yet. But this was their answer to it, just in case. Stifle, a blue instant. Character target activated or triggered ability. I remember when this thing was around. I mean, the entirety that I've known Stifle, it was like the way of defeating fetch lands. It's basically an anti-fetch land card, in my opinion. And as time has gone on, and we have more triggered and activated abilities, and just more abilities in general, Stifle has become more and more powerful, and it's just a solid counter spell in general. So solid, I really wish we had this in Modern. I really, really wish we had this in Modern. We just don't have it available. This is not Modern legal. They just never printed it into that format. And as has been acknowledged in chat, this is the last set before they moved on to the Modern card frame. So this is like the edge of pre-Modern before we have actual Modern. Yeah, missed by one set, unfortunately. Well, they could have reprinted Modern Horizons 1, 2, or 3. Here's hoping for Modern Horizons 4. Did they figure out Stifle Knot back then, or did it take a bit? I don't know. I imagine... I don't know. Because I think they only figured it out immediately when pre-Modern became an actual thing. Otherwise, maybe... I'm not a historian on Stifle, because I never played around that time. Mikeum says, there's a 2-mana Stifle currently in Standard. Is that too slow for Modern? Unfortunately, 2 mana is like just miles worse than 1 mana. It's just that big of a difference. You got to ask yourself, did the 2-mana Stifle see a whole lot of play in CEDH? Like, I don't know, maybe sometimes, but for the most part, the 1-mana one does. Winter says, really odd this wasn't in a Modern Horizon set. I guess they are scared of people stifling fetches. I don't think it's the most feel-bad interaction. They're also just making fetches worse overall anyway. T. Corellius, or is it not worse, but like you're not as dependent on fetches today as you would in the past. T. Corellius, Stifle has been one clutch card over and over to brick an opponent. Oh, Crater Hoof, Stifle. Going to Ultimate Planeswalker, Stifle. You got it. You totally understand. Okay, Stifle. Stifle's a banger. Thank God for Stifle. Reaping the Graves. From Bell. This is a Storm card. It's a 3-mana instant. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. You also got Storm. And it makes me wonder how many Wirewood Symbiote-like cards exist in this set just to enable the Storm mechanic. You know, you Wirewood a bunch of elves back to your hand, and then maybe you play Reaping the Graves to get the rest of the elves from your graveyard back to your hand. Very, very weak Storm card because if you build up a bunch of Storm, you're not even putting them onto the battlefield. It probably would be better like that. Although it'd probably be busted at that point. Return target creature cards from graveyard directly to battlefield. Too much. Too much. Mara's starting to play some Magic. Returning back to inform that I indeed ended up playing with my friends and enjoyed it. Second game ever. According to them, I did very well. It was a 4v4 with 20 HP. Got down to 866. Oh my god, you're playing a 4-player game with 20 life? That's insane. Kano with Wing Shards. Oh, I guess you were playing 60 card Magic. Wing Shards. What do you have to say? One of my favorite removal back in Scourge. This is a 3-mana instant. Target player sacrifices an attacking creature and as Storm. So actually, they reprinted this thing in Modern Horizons. It was also part of a World Championship deck. Look, we got the gold border. Very, very... I guess it was a very playable card at the time. I mean, yeah, I guess against, like, maybe a red deck that plays creatures with haste. They play a creature, they attack, you Wing Shards them, they have to sacrifice 2 creatures. They're in a lot of trouble. Or actually, you could also force the issue. You play removal spell on one creature, also Wing Shards on another one, and that's a 3 for 2 at the very least. Not too bad. Stormy Cat with the Decree of Justice. See, some Storm cards were okay. They weren't overpowered. But then Grape Shot just had to take it to a whole new level. Grape Shot should have dealt half a damage. Decree of Justice, this still sees play. And they reprinted this card. Hold on, so did this come from Scourge? Viola Prince. It did. So 4 mana, XX, put X, 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying into play, cycling of 3 mana. But when you cycle Decree of Justice, you can pay X, and if you do, put X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens into play. This actually sees a lot of pre-modern play and was one of the main win conditions in the blue-white control decks. You can either put a bunch of giant angels in play, but the most important thing is they just delay the game and then they start cycling at instant speed. You draw a card and you get a bunch of 1/1s that aren't counterable unless you got Stifle. But I mean, you need to have the Stifle. Yeah, love this one too because of the cycling. Get around them counter spells. Sneaky card. It says it's a sorcery. It's actually not a sorcery if you're using the cycling ability. Complete BS. Arethusa says, speaking of Grape Shot, Scatter Shot is where it begins. Scatter Shot. How do I shot web? Scatter Shot is a 3-mana instant. Deals 1 damage to target creature. Storm. Where does... Oh, so they didn't make Grape... Did they make Grape Shot in this set? Where did Grape Shot come from? What's the origin of Grape Shot? Oh my god! It came from Time Spiral? Interesting. It's not where I thought it would come from. So basically the original Grape Shot was Scatter Shot, which is arguably the same thing. It is well, I mean, you could argue it's better, but technically it's not because I don't think you need the instant speed part of this card. Yes, it deals 1 damage. Oh no, it only deals 1 damage to target creature. So we've got to read the whole card. Grape Shot art looks like fire. Oh, it looks fire. They're all fire. You like the Grape Shot arts? What, this one? Blast them with the Grape Shot. No, okay, so the big difference is Scatter Shot only deals the damage to the creatures. Yeah, it's significantly worse. It's arguably not better at all. And by arguably, I mean you should not argue it because there is no argument. Yeah, reading the whole card explains the card. I just saw it deals 1 damage, and I was sold. I have to see what. There wasn't even any like fine print. It was just regular print. We got Steve Cooper with Lethal Vapors. How do we go from that Scatter Shot to Grape Shot? I have no idea. Okay, Lethal Vapors is a 4-mana enchantment. Whenever a creature comes into play, you have to destroy it. And for 0 mana, destroy Lethal Vapors. You skip your next turn. Any player may play this ability. This is a cool card. I think this is probably a better like one-on-one card. What it basically says, right, is Time Walk. if I understand that correctly. It's a 4-mana Time Walk, assuming the board is empty. Even if it's not empty, if you're a control deck, playing Lethal Vapors seems pretty awesome. So you play it, your opponent cannot put any more creatures on the battlefield, because if they do, they're just going to die. And if the player with the creatures wants to continue to play creatures, they got to skip their turn. It's a pretty cool card. This is a very cheesy combo card. Oh, how do you combo with this card? You skip your next turn. Oh, this is like what's it called? Teferi's Protection. So you play Teferi's Protection, and then with this, that on the stack, you activate Lethal Vapors like an infinite number of times. So basically, then all your permanents disappear. No one can deal damage to you, and then you just wait everyone out to deck themselves. Because you can activate this an infinite number of times on the stack. It's pretty cool. Me on my way to buy my Nadu card for my next game with friend. Nadu! You're going heavy really early. Okay, we got Daru Warchief. Daru Warchief, 4 mana, 1/1 soldier. Soldier spells you play cost 1 less to play. Soldiers you control get +1/+2. This is a great card, but this is just too expensive. This card probably could have made an actual I mean, there's two problems. It could have made a soldier deck if it was cheap enough, like at least if it was 2... I mean, it has to be at most 3 mana. But this card was so... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. There is one thing I didn't understand. I didn't catch. It says soldier creatures you control get +1/+2. So it actually comes into play as a 2/3. Okay, that's not terrible. Almost always these types of cards say other soldier creatures you control get, whatever ability. So I'm really surprised. I actually don't understand the templating here. Still, I think it needs to be at least 3 mana, because at 4 mana, you've probably played out most of your soldiers. And what do you need the discount for after that? Too bad there were not that many soldiers back then. Still aren't! Or hold on. Oh, no. Is it soldier? No, maybe there are a lot of soldiers now, and there's no knights. Because we were just having we had that discussion on another stream. You would think that there's a lot of knights in the game, but there actually are not. Yeah, okay. There's lots of soldier tokens. That's true. Philgo with Faces of the Past. Faces of the Past, a 3-mana enchantment. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, tap or untap all creatures that share a creature type with it. Well, that's not good. So basically, your stuff has to die in order for you to get any benefit out of this. Your stuff is dead. Tap or untap all creatures that share a creature type with it. Oh, you know what? Okay, there actually is a world where you could use this to a good effect. Let's say you're playing a zombie deck and you sacrifice a zombie. Oh no, but it has to share. I was thinking I want to tap my opponent's stuff, but it still needs to share a creature type with it. No, this is good. How do you use this card? No, you just use it to untap. Yeah, you just have to use it to untap. It's like Intruder Alarm for your graveyard. That's not useful to us, Gillum. I have to fill my graveyard to untap the stuff in play to then sacrifice into my graveyard. If I'm using this to the full effect, I don't have anything in play anymore. Yeah, way too hard to do. It's a $13 card, though, for some reason. Steve Cooper says there's 1,081 soldiers, 510 knights in the game. Oh, there's still a lot of knights then. John with the super chat. Thanks so much, John. Brain freeze. CEDH staple, also a pre-modern staple. I'm not a fan of this pre-modern staple, though, because I don't know how to use it properly. It's 2-mana instant. Target player puts the top 3 cards of the library into their graveyard, and you have Storm. So play a bunch of spells, and if you play enough spells, you just storm off and mill someone to absolute death. It is an alternative to Grape Shot, especially if you're not running red, which is the case in some bluish decks in pre-modern. But it's a good card. Also a complete bomb in limited. Like in Cube, Brain Freeze is it's the preferred card to win in limited because your deck is 40 cards in limited. So you only have to play something like 10 spells, brain freeze, and you usually win the game at that point. Where are we looking at an old set? We are looking back, Bordeaux. Bordeaux is like, I want to go into the future. I want to talk about the sets today. Why are we looking at the past? You know, some people are nostalgic for the old stuff. Changeling with Faces of the Past. Is that a card? Faces of the Past. Oh, I see. You want me to play with Changelings with Faces of the Past. That would work. Yeah, that would work. I still don't know how you use it. Like, I don't know how you abuse the card. Somebody, it has a unique effect that looks like it just goes nowhere as of today. This is an insane card, Tobias is mentioning. Xantid Swarm. This is the biggest, like, gotcha card in all of combo Magic, and I'll tell you all about that after we thank today's sponsor, FusionGamingOnline.com. My favorite place to get my Magic the Gathering cards. And there's always a deal of the week every week. And this time it's 15% off Ultimate Guard accessories. And with those accessories, you got to fill it with Magic cards. Magic cards that you get from The Hobbit, from Marvel superheroes. Maybe you need those classic Scourge cards. I need my Stifles. I need my Brain Freezes for my pre-modern Stifle Knot deck. And you can get those too. When you use coupon code Nikachu at use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. And of course, it also supports the channel, which I enjoy the most. I love it. You know, I love, as much as I love getting 5% off my purchases, I also like it when you use 5% off. It makes me money. Okay, getting back to Xantid Swarm. This is a pretty common card put in combo decks that can run green, because a lot of combo decks expect that you are going to take out all your creature removal. Because why would you need it versus their combo? And that makes Xantid Swarm really strong because it's a flyer, and it says whenever Xantid Swarm attacks, just needs to attack, doesn't need to deal damage because it can't deal damage. It's a 0-power creature. Whenever it attacks, defending player can't play spells this turn. So if you can't play spells, you can't interact with their combo. If you can't interact with their combo, you're dead. So this is a very strong. You gotta be on your toes versus combo decks. Can they play the Xantid Swarm versus you? And if they can, you gotta leave a little bit of removal. Feels very meta specific. It's very deck specific. So very specific decks will play this card. A lot of Storm decks like to play this card. Anyway, there's you just gotta know. You'll know from experience, but it's best that you know ahead of time before you actually play those decks. Because when it hits you really hard. It's like, you're prepared. You brought in all this interaction for combo decks. Then they go turn 1 Xantid Swarm, and you're like, well, I'm screwed. They attack once, they combo off. Benjamin Berkey with Eternal Dragon. Eternal Dragon. We have a 7-mana 5/5 Dragon Spirit with flying. 5 mana, return Eternal Dragon from your graveyard to your hand to play this ability only during your upkeep. Also has Plane Cycling. Also, this is a pretty common control card. They like this card because at the very least, you can turn it into a land. So if you're land light in your deck, it's got Plane Cycling. Pay 2 mana, go get a Plains. Okay, you can keep curving out. You're going to make your land drops. But it's like a land that's also a threat, because you can also turn it into a dragon. The best part is if you, like, lose the card, so you can return it from your graveyard back to your hand. Now, you can only play the ability during your upkeep, but you know what? If your opponent's empty-handed, you can afford to do that. Jay says, wait, are you real? I had thought you had become one with Phyrexia. I am not a Phyrexian. Nothing to do with Phyrexia. Oh, this is Gavin Verhey's favorite card. It's a very good strategic card. This is probably one of the greatest balance between something that is very, very strong, very playable, but not overpowered. Like, okay, it can make your land drops. It's got evasion. It's got inevitability. It's got it all, but it's fair, super fair. Fan Factor with Edgewalker. Remember when Wizards of the Coast tried to make clerics a small creature type for white? Whatever happened to that? Well, they still do. Like, they still make clerics. Aren't the Soul Sisters? What is Soul Warden? Isn't Soul Warden a cleric? Yeah, you got human clerics. So they still print out them clerics, but they're all weak. Unfortunately, the clerics, they don't have a strong enough payoff. I mean, unless you consider the Soul Sister decks cleric decks, but they're basically life gain decks. So I mean, if you can turn the life gain that they make into a combo win, then okay, maybe you just call them clerics. Edgewalker, 3 mana for a 2/2. Cleric spells you play cost black, white less to play. The effect only reduces the amount of colored mana that you pay. That's about it. So yeah, Edgewalker. Another, I mean, what is this, like Edgewalker Warden? You know, like just like you have all those Warden cards that reduce cost. I mean, this is effectively it. Edgewalker is busted. There's a Shadowborn Apostle combo with it. Oh, you can't be serious. Wait, is there a way where you can play Shadowborn Apostle and you just keep drawing cards off of every Shadowborn Apostle you play? So basically, you're playing them for free and drawing cards. I mean, maybe that's possible. Cleric were the original Orzhov creature type. Still is. You can't remove the, if you're an original, you can't lose that. Big Mike, when Edgewalker came out, color cost reduction was unheard of. This was attractive because of that. That's also why the clerics in this set all cost a bunch. Wow. So what? So because of Edgewalker, they had to buff up the cost of all the other clerics, making them effectively unplayable. That's too bad. Christopher B with the unspeakable symbol. Hold on, not this. The unspeakable symbol. It's a 3 mana enchantment. Pay 3 life, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. That is neat. That is a very unique card. There's a lot of cards out there where whenever a counter is placed on a particular creature, it triggers. Maybe it triggers life gain. Maybe it triggers fight. Maybe it triggers something. So for the low, well, I don't want to say this is a low cost, but for the price of 3 life, for as long as it's not taking up mana, maybe it can compound those triggers. This is a very important card to keep an eye on as time goes on, and we get more cards that trigger when counters are placed on creatures. Next we've got Archangel with Ageless Sentinels. Ageless Sentinels is a 4 mana, 4/4 flyer. When Ageless Sentinels blocks, its creature type becomes a giant bird. Funny enough, is called Ageless. Didn't age well at all. Card is terrible. No one will play this card by today's standards. There's a lot of cards that aged very well from this set. Very powerful set. We held Eldraman with Parallel Thoughts. Specifically for every commander deck that runs blue. Every commander deck. 5 mana enchantment. When it comes into play, search your library for 7 cards, remove them from the game in a face down pile, and shuffle that pile. Then shuffle your library. If you would draw a card, you may instead put the top card of the pile you removed into your hand. So it's basically you've made an extra deck. An extra deck of the best cards in your deck. But there is a cost. You're burning 1 turn to play this card. It's not like you draw the 7 cards. It's like 5 mana. You know, honestly, it's almost like 5 mana, like exile all your entire deck except 7 cards, and the best cards in that deck is your deck. Yeah, take your best cards so it's easy to remove them all. If you would draw a card, you know what? There is a huge downside to this thing. If they destroy Parallel Thoughts, I mean, you're screwed, right? You just remove the 7 best cards in your deck from the game. And now Parallel Thoughts, once it's destroyed, you can't draw from that pile anymore. It's just gone. Yeah, very, very long-term plans. Super long-term. Anti-mill? I guess it could be. Yeah, I guess it's sort of anti-mill, because you don't draw from your regular deck anymore. Comparable to Doomsday. Yeah, but very vulnerable. Filter your lands out instead. But then if you draw a card, you may instead put the top card of the pile into your hand. So you could actually remove 7 lands. That sounds like a pretty bad interaction, though. I don't know if that's worth it. Gillum, we got the Trap Digger. We diggin'. Didn't age well, huh? 4 mana, 1/3 soldier. Those damn soldiers. Well, it's a 2/5 with that Lord. So 3 mana, tap, put a trap counter on target land you control. You control. Sacrifice a land with a trap counter on it. Trap Digger deals 3 damage to target attacking creature without flying. Good God. This is basically Bolt for creatures in a really clunky way. Like, super clunky. I don't even know if this is good and limited. Oh, anti-Bowmaster's tech. Oh, the last card. Okay, parallel. You know what? That's interesting. Anti-Bowmasters, anti-Fairy Mastermind, any card that would judge you for drawing extra cards for a turn. Yeah, that's true. Magic have trap cards now. Oh, always did. These aren't even the these aren't even the actual trap cards. There are actual trap cards. They're just stealing from Yu-Gi-Oh everywhere they could. Okay, next up we got. Let's look at Tobias with Pyrostatic Pillar. Okay, Pyrostatic Pillar is a 2-mana enchantment. Whenever a player plays a spell with converted mana cost 3 or less, Pyrostatic Pillar deals 2 damage to that player. This thing is insane! It's absolutely insane! This card is awesome. Why don't more people play this? It's Eidolon of the Great Revel, but in enchantment form, which arguably, in my opinion, is a little bit better, because it's easier to kill an Eidolon. It's not nearly as easy to kill a Pyrostatic Pillar. Enchantments are busted. Whenever a player plays a spell with converted mana cost 3 or less, I guess the only downside is that if you're playing red, you probably also have a lot of cheap spells, so it damages you. But you could build around this card, right? You could build it in such a way that you're playing like expensive burn spells that deal damage to everybody, and it would work quite well. It's a very, very nice card. It's a pre-modern card, completely broken. I don't think I've played against this card enough. Unless the red decks are moving really heavily in this direction. Okay, next. Oh, we have a massive super chat from Big Mike. Did we do Lavamancer's skill yet? Nope. It saw a resurgence a bit when the Final Fantasy set came out because it makes the 0/1 wizard tokens from that set even more annoying and dangerous. Lavamancer's skill is a 2-mana enchant creature. Enchanted creature has tap. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature. If enchanted creature is a wizard, it has tap. This creature deals 2 damage to target creature. What the hell? Enchanted creature has tap. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature. It's a weird aura. You know, if any wizard set came out, the last thing I'm thinking about is putting a Lavamancer's skill in my deck. But I guess some people they just love the pingers. So, and this can ping for 2 damage. Chant to Brassman. Is Brassman a wizard? That ain't a Scourge card. Oh, disqualified. Okay, well we're gonna, yeah, wrong set. Yeah, that's Onslaught, not Scourge. That's okay. I'm gonna donate your super chats. Starting with Bab. Bab, you get a super chat. Stabilizer. Stabilizer, 2-mana artifact. Players can't cycle cards. This feels so strong and yet is actually so useless. There isn't... Like, it's a stacks card. It prevents you from doing things. It's just not enough people cycle cards. They really need... You know, honestly, they need to go back to... Is this where cycling started? No, cycling started way back in the Urza's block. But they should go back to making cycle cards that trigger some effect. Like it's an alternate way of playing the card. Maybe it's a little bit clunky, but you know, it does something a little bit neat. And maybe they fooled around a little bit with like like wizard cycling and stuff like that. But so that stabilizer actually becomes something relatively useful. Yeah, it's super powerful, but narrow as hell. Very, very powerful. You may not cycle, but you might not even be doing that in the first place. Yeah, anti-astral slide. This block introduced different costed cycling. Yeah, more than what, like 2 mana? I guess the old cyclers, they all cycled for 2 mana. 2 mana draw card. Okay, let's donate more of this giant super chat. Who else cards? Mercenary has Decree of Annihilation. That definitely sees a lot of play. Or maybe not. Maybe it doesn't see play. This is just, this is a card that ends up being on this show a lot. 10 mana, remove all artifact creatures, lands, graveyards, and hands from the game. You can cycle it for 7 mana though. When you cycle Decree of Annihilation, destroy all lands. Just blow them all up. You got instant speed Armageddon. Matty Clock is a huge fan of this cycle. Huge fan of the cycling cycle. The mechanic of this set. Christopher B says cycling was the first returning mechanic. Really? I can't think of another mechanic to refute that, but I guess you're right. Bob actually hardcast this thing to win that block. The block? What, block constructed? Sometimes, hey, I mean, hey, if you're in block constructed, sometimes you got 10 mana. You got to do what you got to do around here. Next card. Let's give a little donation to F7. Misguided Rage. Misguided Rage, a 3-mana sorcery. Target player sacrifices a permanent. Probably a very rude card. It's probably, where would this be good? I'm thinking it would be best versus a control deck that doesn't have any permanents in play on turns 1 and 2. But if it's your turn 3, then it's at least their turn 2. If it's at least their turn 2, they probably have a counter spell up. But still, I guess it might be worth the risk versus the reward. Next, we'll look at Anna's Sliver Overlord. What? Sliver Overlord. Did this come out in Scourge? What the F? Where did this thing come from? Did they even have slivers in this set? We'll explore that and more after talking about today's sponsor, Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards on Magic Online. My favorite place to play any deck, any format. Scourge is a very powerful set in pre-modern. You can play that format and all decks possible when you rent with Mana Traders. Use coupon code Nikachu_AOY for 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. Sliver Overlord. I never considered that this was in Scourge. Do they really have enough slivers to make this even worth anything? Onslaught Block did have slivers. How many? So it's a 5-mana 7/7, and you can search for 3 mana, search your library for a sliver card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. You can also pay 3 to gain control of target sliver. Magma Sliver was in Legions? What? Oh, so were the slivers in the other blocks? Slivers made a comeback in Legions, then added onto that in Scourge. Okay, so it was a sliver block. Was it like their first, how do I put it? It was their first attempt to go back to like a theme of the past. I don't know where slivers came from. I can't remember. You know, it's like going back to, it's not like how we keep going back to Ravnica, how we keep going back to Innistrad, how we keep going back to Zendikar. Well, now we're going back to slivers here, wherever the slivers came from. Yeah, we're going back to Tempest. So we're going back to Tempest here. And Stronghold. we're going back to Tempest, or what is it? Tempest Block. I like the idea. Hey there, Dominic. How's it going? Connor says, lots of slivers in Onslaught Block because of Riptide Project. Is that a card? Riptide Project. Nope. Sounded like a card. Is this a card? Ambush Commander? You know, I'm reading comments in chat. I can't tell if they are... I can never tell if they are card suggestions or not. Okay, that's the last of the super chats. Compliments of Big Mike. Thanks, Big Mike, for all those super chats. Ambush Commander is a 5-mana 2/2 elf. Forests you control are 1/1 green elf creature tokens. Sorry, elf creatures that are still lands. They're not tokens. 2 mana, sack an elf. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. So you can sack your lands to buff up other lands if necessary. Benjamin Berkey says, I played this in my elf deck back in the early 00s. Yeah, it would have been as early as 2003. Ambush Commander can't be your commander. Sad, yeah. It's a flavor fail. Maddie Locke says, wasn't Onslaught block basically Dominaria's Apocalypse? I don't know. I don't know the story at all. The story is, you know, they never made an anime. Unlike a lot of other intellectual property, they didn't make an anime out of the Magic lore, and that is a big blunder, huge blunder on Wizards' part. They can still right the wrong. I mean, it doesn't cost them that much money to make an anime. They should just do it. Even if it was exclusively for YouTube or something. I think I say confidently that we would all watch that anime. Dominic, hey, Nikachu, I watch your shows a lot. Also, a Merfolk player. Greetings from Czechia. Welcome. Welcome, Dominic. I've been to the Czech Republic. I've actually, one of my very earliest tournaments playing Merfolk was actually between Poland and the Czech Republic. I played quite a few tournaments there. Great, the MTG anime would be like One Piece, never ending. Yeah, basically. Because you got to keep making more stories to keep selling more cards. All these sets are based on stories, believe it or not. I've completely ignored the story even up until now. I have no idea what's going on. I can't tell who's dead and who isn't dead, but basically, I mean, all the sets are technically based on some sort of story. I always wondered, like, what's the chicken and the egg? Do they like make the cards first and then they make the story, or they make the story first and then they make the cards? I can only assume they are actually literally making the story first and then building cards around it. I think, or they're like, okay, we're making these cards. These are the powerful cards. Make a story out of that. Like, I don't really know the process. Old MTG novels, Magic players don't read. Well, they have to at least read the cards. We got Trojan Badger here with Fierce Empath. The Ravnica story was a hella dope. Those novels in the fat packs were great. Did you probably start selling? Do you know what? They probably should sell books with your booster box. Get people into it. Okay, Fierce Empath is from Scourge. It's 3 mana, 1/1 elf. When Fierce Empath comes into play, you may search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost 6 or more. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Not bad. I actually like it. So basically, it's a pretty innocent tutor. It's a cheap creature. It's a relatively cheap creature to be a tutor that goes directly into your hand. And for a green deck, you're going to be ramping no matter what. And not only is this a blocker to help prolong the game to the point where you can play your big card, you can also blink this card to get actually more tutors out of this damn thing. Actually looks like a really, really nice card. The books used to come with fat packs. Well, we got to do it the other way around. The fat pack has to come with the book. Tutor for Emrakul? Well, not in Commander. We got Bryce with Dragon Mage. Dragon Mage. Does this have Storm? It does not. 7 mana for a 5/5 Dragon Wizard, flying. When Dragon Mage deals combat damage to a player, each player discards their hand and draws 7 cards. What? They put Windfall on a dragon? Each player discards their hand and draws 7 cards. That's not even something I think you want to do. Okay, you played your Dragon Mage. No one's interacted with it, all right? You following me so far? You're probably ahead in the game. You smack your opponent for 5 damage, and then what, you want to refill their hand? Seems like a big mistake to me. Who said anything about Commander? Okay. Doing some other format. Next, we got Turiat, Temple of the False God. Oh, that's where this land came from. Didn't they reprint this land? Oh, wow, they reprinted this land 1 billion times. This is actually where the origin comes from. It came from Scourge. This is a... Did you see that? Did you see how many times they reprinted this card? Look at this. This is insane. It's like every single Commander set needs this card for some reason. Land. Tap to add 2 generic to your mana pool. Play this... ability only if you control 5 or more lands. Oh, sorry. It's been errated to add 2 colorless to your mana pool. but you need to have 5 or more lands. It is a very budget Ancient Tomb. Very budget City of Traders. Damn, this land must suck back in the day. Good question. I don't know if it had a home. I don't think so. But I don't know for sure. Commander All-Star. Yeah, this is a Commander All-Star, I guess. Because they won't give them Ancient Tomb because they're cowards. Yeah, they don't want to reprint Ancient Tomb to death. Was Ancient Tomb originally... Just out of curiosity, was that an uncommon? Ancient Tomb looks like an uncommon to me. It is an uncommon. This is an outrageously... This is a disastrously expensive uncommon that they've effectively turned into... What is it, a rare now? Yeah, it's sometimes mythic rare. Okay. What an upgrade. Yeah, it was uncommon originally. That's that's wild. That's rareflation. That's rareflation for you. Uncommon to rare to mythic. Fast mana comes in very slowly. We did Stifle already. Sorry about that, Big Squig. One of the most amazing cards of this set. Who else has no cards yet? Let's take a look at... Magnum Opus Gold. Dragon Breath. In my Reanimator deck. You want to reanimate with this card? 2 mana, enchanted creature has haste, and for a red, enchanted creature gets +1/+0. When a creature with converted mana cost 6 or more comes into play, you may return Dragon Breath from the graveyard to the play, enchanting that creature. Not bad. Do a little bit of self-milling. If you get the Dragon Breath into the graveyard, you're going to get a 2-for-1 with your reanimation spell. Great idea. And one of the cards I still use to this day, Affetto Runecaster. A lot of Affetto cards. You want the Runecaster. 4 mana for a 2/3 wizard. Whenever a creature is turned face up, you may draw a card. Is there a way you can abuse this? Like you force all your opponent's stuff to be face down and then return them up face. Then you turn everything face up. Because it didn't say your stuff. It's like when any permanent. Oh, it's actually been errated. Get this, chat. Whenever a permanent is turned face up, you may draw a card. Not whenever a creature is turned face up. This card is just immediately got better. Huge upgrade. I have no idea how to abuse this card. But they upgraded it. That could be a show. Cards that got strictly upgraded through erratas. Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. That sounds like such a cool show. Strict upgrade cards strictly upgraded with errata. That sounds like such a good idea. We're gonna do that one. The Big Squig, Edgewalker. Really weird. Oh no, we did this one. Sorry about that. The Big Squig. Okay, now Benjamin Berkey. I guess we're on everyone's second card. Mind's Desire. Super powerful, outrageously powerful competitive card. 6 mana for a sorcery. Shuffle your library, then remove the top card of your library from the game. Until end of turn, you may play it as though it were in your hand without paying its mana cost. And it's got Storm! This is a very, very popular card. So effectively, you start storming off, and then you can draw a million cards to continue storming off, and with absolute certainty, win the game. Till end of turn, yeah, you may play it from as though it were in your hand without actually paying its mana cost. Banned like immediately. Did it get banned immediately? It's only I believe it was banned in Legacy, and they unbanned it, and then it was just part of the format. I don't know what Legacy was like when they actually banned this card, but it got unbanned. It's like, okay, this is just a card. It's not really that crazy anymore. It's still strong in Vintage, though. Mind's Desire is restricted in Vintage and banned in Pre-Modern. Oh, really? Did they? Oh, they banned this in pre-modern. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I've never seen this card once in my life in pre-modern. Unfortunately, they don't have a pre-modern ban list here, which is annoying. I think pre-modern is more important than Penny, whatever Penny is. Penny Dreadful. We don't need Penny Dreadful down there. We need we need a pre-modern list. Scornful Egotist. I forgot this is this was also a morph set. We haven't seen any morph cards because most of the morph cards suck. So for 3 mana, you can turn this down for a 2/2 creature and turn it up face up for 1 mana. And lo and behold, it was an 8 mana card the entire time. A completely useless nonsense. Next up, we got Leon Corgi with Treetop Scout. Remember the definitely not flying green had? That's right. Okay, Treetop Scout is a green 1/1 elf. Treetop Scout can't be blocked except by creatures with flying. It should also be reach. Like you're in a tree. What, the spiders don't get you? And the only thing spiders can literally protect from, or like the territory of the spiders, are the trees. That's all they can do, for crying out loud. Is this really a Mind Games card? This was Leon Corgi says this was a staple in my Timberwatch elf deck. It is an elf. If you need to get in that damage. Yeah, there was no Crater Hoof back then, for the most part. Okay, Big Squig wants Guilty Conscience. Ooh. This is an outrageously popular card. This is a $1. This is a $1.72 common, which just goes, and it's only printed. Sorry, this is the only printing for this card. It's a white aura, enchant creature. When enchanted creature deals damage, Guilty Conscience deals that much damage to enchanted creature. So if you can then redirect that damage to a player, that's a good. How did that combo actually? It's like this and Stuffy Doll makes a combo, right? Now I'm like, I don't remember how. So this is indestructible. When it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to the chosen player. Stuffy deals 1 damage to itself. There's another card out there that's like when you deal damage to your opponent, deal damage to a creature you control. Oh no, that is it. This is this is the card. When enchanted creature deals damage, Guilty Conscience deals that much damage to enchanted creature. Yeah, okay. So I have reassembled the combo on the spot. And when you deal damage with Guilty Conscience, it deals damage to the Stuffy Doll, which then deals damage to the opponent, which reignites your guilt. That's why it's a Guilty Conscience. Josara says this would be crazy with the new Smog that makes treasures when it takes damage. It would. Guilty Conscience, a super popular, very, very popular casual card. Keeping it casual around here. Quick card with Frontline Strategist. Won more than a few games with this neat little trick. It's a white 1/1 soldier with morph for a white. When Frontline Strategist is turned face up, prevent all combat damage non-soldiers would deal this turn. So it's a fog. Won more than a few games with a neat little... You fogged people? You fool! In the year of 2003, you didn't think I could have fog in my deck? Leon Corgi says, you are underestimating how powerful some of these cards were when new players played them incorrectly, and my friends thought cycle could be done every turn with the same cycler. So basically, they were playing the cards illegally. Well, I mean, yes, cards are way more powerful than they look when you're playing them illegally. That sounds like a great idea. Cycle cards continuously for 2. Yeah, 2 mana draw card for nothing. Mr. Stiff Pickles, how does a Feta Runecaster, where is that? How far is that? Interact with the card Vampire Nocturnus? Would it interact at all? Whenever a creature is turned face up, you draw a card. What does Vampire Nocturnus have to do with this? Play with the top card of your library revealed. It's only that no, that has nothing to do with the cards in play. So this card only, so whenever a creature is turned face up, it's not only counting cards that are in play, that are face down and they turn face up, whether it be like Morph, Manifest, stuff like that. Cards on top of your deck don't count. It actually, maybe to make things a little bit clearer, they errated it in such a way to make it maybe make it clearer for people like you. Whenever a permanent is turned face up. So actually, you know what? I think Wizards recognize that they made the original card a little too ambiguous, given now we have face-up cards. We can have face-down cards in Exile. You can have face-down cards on your deck. A lot of face-down cards everywhere. So they've made it less ambiguous. Now it only counts, clearly says only permanents. Pascal with Mischievous Quanar. I like to use it in my commander deck. A lot of people like to use these cards in their commander deck. This is a 5-mana 3/3 beast. 5-mana turn, Mischievous Quanar face down. Also can morph for 3 mana. Oh, so you can like keep flipping it back and forth. So when the Quanar is turned face up, copy target instant or sorcery spell. That is awesome. You may choose new targets with a copy. So you can continuously use this effect to keep redirecting. Sorry, not redirecting. You're just copying. But still copy nonetheless. You're welcome, Mr. Stiff Pickles. Synergy with the Affeta Runecaster. There we go. And they're both blue. Oh, that was probably quite the thing back in the day. It was quite the combo. Anna wants Pemin's Aura so badly. Pemin's Aura. If we didn't look at it yet, we have not. The 3-mana Morphling. They can't reprint Morphling. It's on the reserve list. But you know what? They can reprint an Aura that's the same damn thing. Blue, untap enchant creature. Blue, gains flying. Blue, can't be blocked by... can't be the target of spells or abilities this turn. And for 1 mana, you can get +1, -1, or -1, +1 until end of turn. Very good. I mean, well... It's not a... You know what? Honestly, for an Aura, it's pretty good. Because you can at least give the creature Shroud once it is on the creature, so it gives it protection. Probably a lot of auras should come with this, or give like the creature, if it's a green aura, it should give regeneration. If it's a white aura, maybe it gives protection from a color. If it's a blue aura, it gives Shroud. Something like that. Auras are just so bad. Auras are just so bad in this game. It's technically removal? How? How is this removal? Because you can only untap enchant creatures. I can't put this on somebody else's creature and then... Oh, you can! Oh, so you put on the creature and then you can give it +1, -1 as many times until it dies. That's incredible. Great idea. If Morphling is Superman, what is this? Steals Luther suit? Probably. So, okay, sneakily also removal spell. Bell with the super chat. Thanks so much for your super chat, Bell. Carrion Feeder. Probably, arguably, one of the most quintessential cards in any zombie deck. It's a 1-mana 1/1 that you can buff up by a ton, because you can sack a creature and put a +1/+1 counter on the Carrion Feeder. But it's also a sack outlet for 1 mana. Most sack outlets, they require you to spend mana to sacrifice your creature. You just have to sack your creature for 0. It doesn't cost you anything. Can't block, but it's not made for blocking. It's made for attacking. There's no... I don't want to say there's no zombie deck, but basically, there's no zombie deck built without a Carrion Feeder, and most decks are dependent on Carrion Feeder to basically create their synergy. Sacrifice a creature in black? Hell, we manage. I know. Carrion Feeder was above the curve at the time. It's still pretty much above the curve. The only problem for Carrion Feeder today is the cards aren't good enough to build around Carrion Feeder anymore. Corbinek with Dragon's Shadow. Well, it's not even the dragon itself. It's just the dragons are so powerful, their shadow will kill you. 2-mana enchant creature. Enchant creature gets +1/+0 and has fear. Whenever a creature with converted mana cost 6 or more comes into play, you may return Dragon Shadow from your graveyard to play, enchanting that creature. Oh my god. Finally, we have a reason to play Scornful Egotist in our deck. Literally the only reason. This is your time, scornful egotist. Scornful egotist. I never thought you'd be useful for anything. If you hardcast this for 8 mana, you get to trigger this card. And maybe there's a few more cards in the set that trigger when you have enough cards. Trigger if you cast something that's really expensive. Silver Knight. I don't recognize this knight. Silver Knight, is that card? Silver Knight. I also don't recognize it. White for a 2/2 first strike protection from red. Screw over the red decks, that's for sure. I mean, most of the red decks are like these weenie decks. This just stone blocks them. It's a great sideboard card. Really good sideboard card. I mean, they've actually made better cards now. They have like, what's it called? Core Firewalker. So this probably was really good back in the day, and now has just been replaced by cards like Core Firewalker. Prince of Winners, Consumptive Goo. Consumptive Goo. It's exactly as you said so. It's a black 1/1 ooze, and for 4 mana, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on Consumptive Goo. This is too expensive. I think if you have a lot of mana, I guess that this is okay, but outside of that, this looks just way too expensive for what it does. Oh, actually, okay, this wasn't for this card, but it says, Steve Cooper says you can put a +1/+1 for persist and for undying, whichever is the -1/-1. It makes me wonder, you could, this card, I know this comment was unrelated, but you could use this card to actually buff, basically balance out your persist creatures. Give a creature, oh no, it doesn't. You're not putting a -1/-1 counter on a creature, but you can put a +1/+1 counter on a creature with a -1/-1 counter, which balances it out, negates them out. Tobias reminds us that Scornful Egotist was for cards which depend on high mana cost cards, like draw X cards while X is equal to the highest mana cost among permanents. Good God. Prince of Winners like, get gooed. You. Get this goo off of me. Decree of Silence from Kano. That sounds super familiar. Oh yeah, okay, it's this weird card. 8 mana, whenever a player plays a spell, counter that spell and put a depletion counter on your Decree of Silence. If there are 3 or more, sack it. But it also has cycling for 6 mana. And when you cycle it, you may counter target spell. Oh, I thought this was the draw the game card. No, this is a bit different. Very clunky counterspell outlet. Very clunky. Counter 3 cards and then it's done. It's another super chat from Steve Cooper. Corona, False God. Multiple women fused or something. Oops, it's Corona. Is it multiple women fused? So this is 6 mana for a 5/5 hasty legend. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player untaps Corona, False God, and gains control of it. Whenever a Corona attacks, creatures of that type of your choice get +3/+3 until end of turn. I don't want to say this is a group hug card, but this is like a card where sharing is caring. Everyone wants to share the Corona. Oh, Corona was a fusion of Jessica and Akroma. Ah. Sounds like an anime where they like got put together and boom, you have a mega wizard or a legend avatar. The actual fusion of 2 people. Archangel with Grip of Chaos. Getting a little chaotic here. Okay, we have a 6 mana enchantment. Whenever a spell or ability is put onto the stack, reselect its target at random if it has a single target. Oh my God. It's for the Chaos Hug decks. The Chaos Hug. If you really want to. If you really want to screw around with the game so the game doesn't really go anywhere, play Grip of Chaos. So, but there is a way of making this card good, right? Whenever a spell or ability is put onto the stack, reselect its target at random. So just play cards that don't have targets, except Grip of sorry, no targets. Have a no target deck so that your opponent's cards don't do what they want. And hopefully, if you could become the threat, and then if they even try to play like Swords to Plowshares or something on one of your cards, it ends up not working because they're gonna accidentally Swords to Plowshare their own creature instead. Hit Monkey says, "LOL, grape shot, storm, grip of chaos." Hell yeah, let's lose it. Let's everybody lose. Or you could just do stuff like Chaos Warp. Well, Chaos Warp is just a normal card. In the Chaos Magic format that Plane Chase was built from, only Corona was considered a valid creature for the Chaos deck. That makes no sense to me. Next, let's take a look at... Oh, this is set with Goblin Warchief from Mercenary. This is still a very strong Goblin card. 3 mana for a 2/2 Goblin. Goblin spells you play cost 1 less to play, and Goblins you control have haste. So they all can get into the red zone immediately, which is dangerous for a Goblin deck because they can deal a lot of damage really quickly. And because it's, like I was saying earlier, that Soldier card that reduced your cards by 1 was not so good because it was already 4 mana. Goblin Warchief is in a different direction. It's 3 mana, which lets you curve into, like, a bunch of 3 mana plays on turn 4 or a really powerful 4 or 5 mana play on turn 4. So I think it's in a sweet spot on the curve where it's not too expensive that the cost reduction is useless. It's actually just cheap enough to make it work. Very, very good. Very good and very competitive card. Goblins is massive in pre-modern. Bell with the super chat. Thank you so much, Bell. Temporal Fissure. Bandon Pauper. Are you kidding me? Really? What's the background story of this card? It's a 5 mana sorcery. Return target permanent to its owner's hand as Storm. Is it just not a fun card to play against? Why? What is going on here? I have no idea why this... Can anyone explain to me why Temporal Fissure is banned in Pauper? Returning all lands to your hand is considered a dick move. Sure, but is it that broken? Most storm cards are blanket banned in Pauper. Okay. It's just Storm is just too strong. All the enablers are good, so they just ban the Storm cards. Because the thing is, if you bounce all your opponent's permanents back to their hand, they haven't won the game. Like they haven't lost the game. This card seems very underwhelming, and it's banned. That is correct. This is the most underwhelming card I've ever seen. Pathetic. Okay, let's do some people who have no card. Did anyone do Astral Slide? I think we did Astral Slide. No, we didn't actually. Oh, but it's Onslaught. This is doesn't count for the show. Sorry, disqualified. Who else did not have a card? Dota! Dragonstorm. Is this Onslaught? Oh, sorry. Okay, no, it's Scourge. It's good. Dragonstorm, 9 mana sorcery. Search your library for a dragon card. Put it into play, then shuffle your library. Also has Storm. Oh, Steel? Astral Steel. Let's look at Astral Steel. This is Astral Slide, and there's Astral Steel. Okay, let's take a look at Astral Steel. Oh, Astral Steel is good. Is this banned in Pauper? I don't think so. 3 mana, instant. Target creature gets +1/+2 until end of turn. Until end of turn. It also has Storm. So this is what is this? The only legal card in Pauper? The only legal Storm card? They like banned everything except this damn thing. Yeah, bingo. Nikachu can't read. I know. I've made peace with it already. I've been not reading for like the 6 years that I've done this show at this point. I thought you said Astroglide. No. It was the first Storm card to be spoiled with Storm, but didn't see any play when Onslaught block was Type 2, but then didn't see Type 2 until Time Sprawl block. Oh, you must be talking about Dragon Storm. I have a feeling this card didn't see any play ever at all, period. But anyway, that's a good way to end the show. A legal Storm card that is actually innocent enough that is not broken. That's going to be it for today. I hope everyone enjoyed the show. As usual, we do these shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We got to look back at a time where, it was a simpler time, where cards were not obscenely broke. Well, actually, we had some broken cards on the show. Storm is nothing to sneeze at. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat be part of the show, or you super chat so other people are part of the show. And of course, thank you so much, everyone, for showing up today. People like Christopher B, Lil Deadfly, Gillum, Mercenary, Steve Cooper, Bob Talks Bridge, Christopher B, Kano. We got all the Bennies in the house. Maddie Clock, the Big Squig, Praying Mantis, and many more. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing them coffees, and we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I'm going to see you at the next cup.